On.
That's an HVAC install, man, right there.
All right. So what do we got on Dustin Minion going on tonight?
Well, first let's make sure our sound is working. Are we?
Good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I sound.
Is there anything else?
I hear anxiety.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a live show.
Yes.
You get to see.
Raw, uncut.
Yeah. Guys, what are we having for? I'm sorry, this is on my mind right now.
Yeah.
What meat are you having for Christmas dinner?
Man, you want to hear a really disappointing story?
Yeah. Yes.
We're doing ham and turkey.
The two cheapest meats.
Yes, but my mother, who's having us over,
Yes.
my sister and brother-in-law, and me and my wife, and she goes, "Hey, did you guys want anything extra?" I was like, "Is there anything you can get for, or you want for Christmas dinner?" And I said, "Yes, brisket.
Okay.
I would love that." She said, no, I didn't mean that. Like side dishes. We're not doing that this year." And I was heartbroken because I thought for a sliver of a moment that we'd be having brisket because I've been craving red meat.
Come over here for Christmas,
Okay.
and we're doing prime rib. We're doing prime rib.
Sorry
again.
that was loud, guys.
How loud was it? Okay. good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got compression. Yeah.
Yeah, so
What about you? What are you having for Christmas dinner meat? Do you know? Like, what's the main thing? The main course?
Chitlins.
Chitlins. I don't believe you.
Promise you.
you're lying.
You're serious? I don't believe you.
I'll take a picture of the chitlins.
You know, earlier
That's the main course. It's not a side.
I mean, it's a side.
Okay, it's a
earlier
side.
when you were having a privatized talk about how you're doing, and you said, "I want to do things differently from how I was raised." It starts now.
It starts with-
Bring a turkey at least, man.
What's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's like the meat crock pot. You add peppers in it, and it's like
Which kind of meat? Is it pork?
I think so.
Okay, so like a carnitas type thing, or
Yeah.
okay, I like carnitas. Carnitas is really good.
Fantastic.
Well, I already said mine.
Interesting
Prime
for
rib.
Christmas, but
Oh, carnitas are fantastic. Any excuse to eat carnitas.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Dude, we're black. You throw anything in something.
that's
It's,
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
All right. Well,
drink it.
we were.
Sugar.
You're pretty sweet. So.
You know, that explains OTC.
I'm just not going to comment.
Is there a correlation there?
Okay, let's remember.
Wait, this is
That's a no-go topic zone. That's
no.
no-go.
Well, this is bringing up.
He's not even on the microphone. No one can hear what he's
That's
saying.
fine. This is to you.
We're live to all the people.
All right, guys. So this happened. I have to speak on this now. I was in a class where we were doing public debates, and my argument in case was that body positivity movement is dangerous and bad for America. And I brought up the statistics and the facts that the number one cause of death is heart attack.
Sorry about that.
That is the number one killer. And the number one cause of heart attacks or cardiovascular disease is obesity. And I brought the point that the body positivity movement is telling you you're okay and beautiful how you are. And we talked about this how the last episode. Intrinsically and in the correct image of God, we're wonderful, kingly beings that have fallen from this.
Mhm.
This is crazy that this is tying in. It was meant to be. And the body positivity movement says that how you are,
Yeah,
not requesting change,
yeah.
is a good thing, and that is pushing people to stay stagnant and in a lot of cases obese, and that is
Okay.
killing America.
Okay. I did zero prep on this. And I'm someone who needs to lose weight. So let's
Yeah.
I'm working on it. We've made some progress.
Yeah.
I literally
We are back.
are we back?
Yeah.
Were we
He's
gone?
back, baby.
We're just like reeling it back in.
Yeah, we're coming back.
Oh yeah.
We're coming back.
But you're making changes.
We're making changes. All right, so here's
Become a great Christian.
there we go. So the body positivity movement
Mhm.
does have some things that I think are helpful in the proper application.
Yeah, I agree.
right?
The origins were fantastic.
Well, I don't even know about the origins, but what I would say, because I don't know anything about it,
Okay.
but what I would say is, like, I mean, I grew up in the early 2000s where if you watch movies from then, like every girl on the beach is like skinny as a rail,
Yeah.
right? And like size 0, size 1, that was considered like the epitome of beauty.
Yep.
And I kind of like the fact that there's like a little more variety, you know,
Yeah.
and it's probably healthier. But you get to a point where it's not healthy anymore. But yeah, and this is kind of my issue. We want everything to be black and white. Where is the body positivity movement a good or bad thing? And the answer is yes. Now, ultimately, unchecked, and it was unchecked, is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right. It went to a bad place where it's like, you know, you're an evil man if you're not attracted to a 300-pound woman, you know, because you don't have enough body positivity, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right. And so when it got to some of those places, or people wouldn't work on themselves, or they wouldn't, you know, appreciate the fact that gluttony is a sin, or things like this, then yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. So it's really good and really bad things all mixed together, which is kind of the epitome of our world.
But I think on a reverse spectrum.
I think your points were valid, by the way.
Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I agree with the beginning, because there's a lot of people that had genetic issues that could be unsolved, or if you had scars or moles or things of that.
Or there's even the person who is totally not taking care of their body. They were still created, you know, like the fact that the human body works and they're still alive. Yeah, like there's something still amazing there. So But
I think that there is enough level of disliking and hating certain things.
What kinds of things?
Sin,
Yeah.
evil, or
Yeah.
just not good things.
Yeah.
You might look at your body and be like, okay, if this got unchecked, this is a bad thing.
Yeah.
You see people in the gym, and they might not hate or dislike themselves
Right.
as a being,
Yeah.
but where they're at physically,
Uh-huh.
there's a level of burning hatred. Like when I go to the gym,
Oh.
It is because I hate the fact that I am skinny and I do not have bigger muscles. I want to look bigger, more fit. So there's a level of self-dislike and discontentment, and body positivity movement removed discontentment for people and allowed them to excuse being in a poor place physically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's
But
good.
I like your points too. It started out great, and I think that was fantastic for a lot of people, and it made them feel seen.
I mean, how many girls that grew up with eating disorders or something like this, you
Yeah.
know, and not all of them are skinny. Imagine that, you know, like just the shame of like not loving
Body
the body God
dysmorphia.
gave it. Yeah, all these,
Yeah.
all these things. So, anyway,
Anyways, I destroyed that debate, and nobody could counter argue me. Teacher got mad. Teacher tried to. Teacher got in and started to disagree, and I was shutting it down. And I was like, "Oh, it was great."
it's killing people.
That was not more than body positivity. Anyways,
That has, I mean, there's going to be some connections, but that's not what we're here to
yeah,
talk about.
let's
today.
reel it in. What are we actually talking about?
Uh,
Sorry, guys.
But let me kind of introduce it like this. We're going to be back in Genesis 1 and 2.
Okay.
Since I can't hear you. When was that said? No, I can't hear you. Can you speak in Scottish? I wish I could
Can't
speak in
Scottish,
Scottish.
but I can talk like it.
Poorly. If we could speak in Scottish poorly. No, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear us now? Let us know what you. Yeah, if you guys can hear us now, just let us know.
Ask it in the chat.
The sound is fine now. Thanks, Kenna.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Somebody probably called me.
So probably called you.
Yeah, if there's a phone call, it mutes the audio.
That makes funny. Or that makes
Or
sense.
TikTok
That's
shut me
funny.
down because I was talking about
Body positivity.
obesity. Yeah, you never know.
Those Chinese.
Genesis 1
Genesis 1.
and 2.
Well, if we take a step back and we look at our own lives, we can recognize pretty easily there's a lot of disorder. There's a lot of chaos. Does the world feel chaotic to you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Specifically in America. So much division.
Yeah, we have a political chaos right now.
Yeah.
Did you know Nicki Minaj was on the stage with Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife,
Really?
earlier. I think it was earlier today, maybe yesterday. I just saw a clip of it.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And they were talking about. I didn't watch the whole clip. Something about Christians in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Oh,
the genocide.
The genocide
right
stuff
now.
going on. Yeah,
It's terrible.
it's been happening for decades, but decades.
Now we have phones.
Sure. Yeah. So it's strange, and I think she also spoke on transgenderism. So we live in a weird world, lots of chaos. Some people are eating chitlins for Christmas.
Crazy.
Don't understand. I actually tried chitlins. Have you tried chitlins?
I have. It's like pork skin, is it not?
No.
Wait, chitlins.
No.
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 Stop! I feel uneducated. This is embarrassing. Stop it. Somebody just tell me outright no ifs, ands, or
Pig
buts.
intestines.
Oh, stuffed though, right?
No. Cleaned, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clean, cooked, boiled, fried, etc.
Just the lining though.
The lining you try to clean out as much as
Yeah,
the
so they
lining is.
clean out the lining, but people will stuff the intestine.
And
But chitlins is just pork intestines.
Yeah, and it's typically fried and like overly salted.
No, well, what are the? Are you thinking like the crisps that you see at the gas station?
No, those are pork rinds.
Rinds, yeah, okay, yeah.
they suck too.
I like pork rinds.
There, yeah, MSG. You love it.
I
That's
might.
crazy.
No.
They're disgusting.
But remember, I traveled the world, so I like foods a lot of people don't like. I had sheep intestines when I was in Ethiopia.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
Would you eat a sea turtle?
probably,
Penguin?
definitely.
I would devour some penguin.
I'm so sorry, guys. There's a lot of disorder
You are tired
in this world. Oh, I'm so
and
tired.
I'm worn out too.
Guys, my kids are sick. I was up till 1:30 with one of them, and then woke up at 5 with the same one.
And I'm married. Just kidding, she's great. I'm just-
I was like, so am I.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because I'm newly married.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so there's a lot of disorder. There's a lot of lack of clarity, like on this podcast right now. The ultimate disorder, of course, is going to be death. When your life requires order, right? You breathe. Oxygen has to go certain places. Your heart has to beat. So much blood has to move. Neurotransmitters, things have to work. There's order to life.
Yeah.
And
Now tie this together to death.
death is that order coming apart. So when your heart ceases to beat in an orderly way, or ceases to beat at all, is not in the order it was designed to be in.
End of order, not the start of chaos.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Death is ending a well-run machine.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
not the start of chaos. I thought we were reaching into chaos, but okay.
No. So like, the end of disorder, the end of chaos is death.
Okay.
So if we get hit with another global flood, which God promised won't happen. Thanks. That's good.
Thank you.
That's a lot of kindness. Then you're going to see a lot of death, right? There was a lot of death with that. There's disorder in the world. You have political disorder in Ukraine right now. Lots of death. Disorder and chaos always leads to death. Life comes from order. Now, not like a rigid, super controlling order. There's a freedom to it, but there is order to life. There has.
Pause. You know what's really funny? To those that are believers in the Big Bang,
Can you hand me that cream soda that he brought down? Yeah, man.
let's just like
We're going to need this.
zoom out for a second.
Yeah.
We're talking life comes from order.
Life comes from order.
And to an atheist, life came from chaos. That is a really funny connection. Out of the chaos came life. Interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Continue.
so even the ancients, like the idea of order and chaos was huge.
Yeah.
So they saw water as the source of chaos, so they were very afraid of the ocean. The Leviathan, the great chaos monster, lives in the depths of the sea. And so even in creation, which we're not going to get into very much today,
Yeah.
but where it talks about how he separated the waters, It's God. Culturally, they would have understood that as God exercising power over chaos.
Hmm.
Greek philosophy had some similar things where the logos, which then John uses that term to describe Jesus, the word was order, a creative order that made order out of chaos. Yes, what's the question?
On Twitch, Gamer Needs Food, what do you think of people who are trans? I heard you guys talking about them.
No, what do we think of people who are trans? Well, let's go for the most controversial thing. So I would.
Yeah.
So let's actually take that in.
Back to episode 1.
We can go back to episode 1. People are made it.
2.
Yeah, I guess 2. Our last time we talked about people are made in the image of God. A lot of intrinsic value there. What we're talking about today is order. So we are ordered in 2 different groups of human, and I'll just read it right here because I happen to have it open.
There we go.
We weren't going to talk about this, so I don't have like a huge plan. But let's see. I'm in Genesis chapter 1. And let's go to verse 27. So God created man in his own image. Now, like we talked about before, to be created in the image of deity is a very royal thing. Like that's something that's like a lot of dignity. The pharaohs were considered to be in the image of Ra. That was their deity over in Egypt. And so to be created in the image of Yahweh, of our God, is, of course, even a higher compliment, if you will, to mankind.
Yeah.
And so this is like a lot of capability, a lot of importance, a lot of value, a lot of beauty in the human race. And then he says, let's make man in our image. Okay, yeah, 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. All right. And then he goes, and male and female, he created them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. So at the beginning of that, we're seeing that kingliness. At the end of that, we're seeing what we're ruling over, which is the creation he just made and gave to us. Super generous. And then we see the order that he created us in, male and female. What we're going to see now is something, and in so many ways, we see chaos coming in, sometimes inflicted by mankind, sometimes not. Sometimes just through the regular suffering, because the creation was twisted a little bit.
Sickness and disease. I mean, there's
a lot of things that got twisted and disorder. Yeah. So you think of like an autoimmune disorder, something that's very good is you're attacking yourself, right? You need an immune system. You don't want it to attack you, right?
Yeah.
That's bad. So it is not surprising then that there's going to be people who in just the suffering of this world, as long as sin is present, until things get fixed, and we look forward to that new creation when things are fixed, that are going to struggle with which category they belong in.
I'm already inwardly fighting, and it's I think there's some people, and I'll speak for myself here. I don't know.
Okay.
I think our views are pretty aligned. You have a broken world.
I'm sorry. Can I pause you real quick? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Any follow-ups so far? Okay. All right.
I think my view.
Did we get canceled before we got started?
Transgenderism, a very real thing.
Sure.
Incredibly real. It's something that happens. I think that it's clear that as believers, there's a design.
Yeah.
And I think there's things that we think and is dictated that is permeated and allowed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that that's a proper way to live, but I think that comes from the disparity of not knowing the value of who you are. But at the end of the day, still people like us.
Well, we actually talked about body positivity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What was good about body positivity?
Body positivity.
What's something good about that?
The good thing is that it starts you off with you have value.
Right. Yeah, and there's a beauty to every human being.
Yeah.
I think with the trans movement that we've seen is actually some people saying, I don't like my body. And it can end up becoming an attack on their own body.
Oh, core root of it. It's self-hatred of, like, from what I've seen from certain perspectives, some people are like, no, I'm fine with this. But others are like, I'm a guy. I'm a male. I'm a female, whatever it may be. and I'm in an incorrect body. They don't love or
Yeah.
think that they belong with what they were born in.
Well, and here's something else. We have to realize we're created as embodied creatures. We are not just energy. We are not just souls. We are souls. We have souls, but we are more than that. We are body and soul combined.
Yeah.
And a hatred of our own body is a hatred of ourselves. And I think most of your trans stuff is starting to end up a hatred of their own someone's own body. And so, anyway, that would be
Yeah. Long story short,
without getting too deep
Yeah.
into it.
love them.
Oh yeah,
People,
yes,
as far as a belief of what I think is an acceptable standard, I do not think that somebody that is acting out that life fully, of stating that,
that wouldn't be in line with how God created us to
Yeah,
live. No,
yeah. I think
Yeah.
that most people that are transgender are not walking in line with how God created them. But my heart goes out to transgenderism.
Sure.
It's a very real thing.
and I think I read a statistic that most people who are trans are also autistic.
Really?
Yeah, and so I think there's some other things going on there
Yeah.
medically that could help them out potentially. So, but I've not researched that recently.
I just know that the suicide rates are really high, and my heart goes out to the
Pre and post operation.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
My heart goes out to the transgender community. I have
yeah,
only acquaintances that are in the transgender community,
yeah.
so I'm not in it well. But I just know that
Yeah, I would
the
not.
Lord designed them differently.
I would not hold myself up as an expert.
Not even remotely close.
Just like baseline thoughts, those are our baseline thoughts.
Yeah.
But it actually gets into what we're talking about, which is order and how God created things. And so we're going to, and how God gave us clarity. Oh yeah, feel free to check. How God gave us categories, and then He fills these categories.
Checking comments.
It's a good.
All right. So the categories and how God filled them
That's right.
early on in design.
So the way that Genesis breaks up creation, particularly Genesis 1, and there's a chapter break in a weird place. The chapter breaks were put in the medieval era. Don't worry about where the chapter breaks are necessarily. The first creation narrative goes through chapter 2, verse 3. And so those are going to be the 7 days of creation. Some people are really going to get into with young earth creationism, old earth creationism, evolution. Right now, for what we're talking about today, none of it matters. None of that matters. I'll put my cards on the table. I'm not afraid of saying I am a young earth creationist. But that's a whole nother discussion, and we'll get into that down the road. Maybe
I'm middle ground.
your middle ground.
I'm not full on either.
Okay, so you're unconvinced.
I'm unconvinced.
Okay, that's fair. So, but what I do want to say here is that this is God's word is given for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's not ultimately for us to answer trivia questions on where we came from. It is to give us an understanding of what God wants us to know about how creation works. But it was not designed as a scientific textbook. And
Yeah.
okay, that's not the prime. Now, could it, when it touches on science, is it accurate? Sure. But that's not what it's primarily there for. And we'll get into science. I actually have a friend who's a PhD. I want to bring her on and talk about the role of science as a Christian. So anyway, we'll get into that hopefully a few months down the line here. But we've got, when God creates things, He breaks them up in 6 days of creation, and then we have a 7th day of rest, which is where we get the idea of Sabbath. Which, by the way, you taking a break from your work is God's idea. And I think that's awesome. So, like, God is not like a work. Okay, He's not Rihanna. He is like, you take a break from your work. That's Sabbath. That we will focus on Sabbath at another point because there's a theme that runs all the way through Scripture. Just know that that's there.
Also, while harping on a busy go community, the Lord harps on taking rest, but also being patient.
Yeah.
And I just think that, like, we're very rushed. I am too. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I need to be patient. Like, be patient. I need to have patience.
You should embody patience.
It's hard. Not me. Unfortunately. But yeah, so I think that's cool. That's just something that's shown.
Yeah. So let's look at the 6 days of creation here.
Okay.
You really kind of have it broken down into two sets. You have days 1, 2, and 3. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. So without form and void means it's not solid. There's nothing. It's just chaos. There's nothing to it that you would say looks like that would look substantial. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Again, there's that chaos idea tied to water. And waters being plural means lots of water. And again, the ancient mind would have seen water as a very chaotic thing. Well, people are spamming the chat.
I think Daryl was saying, "Where are we?"
Oh, where are we?
Maybe he doesn't speak English.
Oh, Daryl, we're in
United States, North Carolina.
Eastern United States. So the first 3 days is okay. So that's the idea of chaos, right? Man, I could tell I was up till 1:30. Then he creates light. He separates light into darkness, right? Calls it day and night, and creates an expanse that he calls the sky. Then then day 2 he divides things as he creates what he calls the seas. And then day 3 we have the land with plants and trees. But then you go back on day 4, he creates the sun, moon, and stars. Well, what is that doing? That corresponds to day 1. So he created the sky, and then day 4 he fills the sky. So he created this category, now he fills the category. Then he creates the seas. What does he fill the seas with? Well, day 5, he creates sea creatures, right? Day 5, he also creates birds. So it doesn't line up exactly. There's some variance to this, but you still see the idea of God creates a category, then he fills the category. Day 3, he made the land, plants, and trees. Day 6, he makes land creatures, all the things that crawl on the earth. And then he creates a special land creature, man. And I am particularly grateful for that one because that's us.
Thank you.
Woo!
And I'm actually particularly grateful for the others.
Oh,
I love animals.
yeah. I thought you were talking about women at first, and I was like, "Yeah, you just married one. Let's go." No, you went a completely different direction. You also probably, yeah,
love animals.
yes, love
All
animals.
the creepy crawly creatures of the earth.
We also love women as well.
Big fan.
Married one. Yep.
Same?
Myself. Yep. So there's an order to things. And I think a lot of times in life, when we have disordered life, it's because we haven't just created a category and then filled the category with the appropriate things. So for example, having kids, I need to create order for my children. We have a nighttime routine.
Yeah.
So we take about
Beautiful nighttime routine.
Yeah, we take probably 15. Now it's about 20 minutes now. It's gotten a little longer, where because it's time to start brushing the teeth, right? So we brush teeth, and then we put them down. We sing a song together.
Love it.
Typically a hymn. We pray together, and then there's last minute tickles, and and then kisses goodnight and all those kinds of things. So we have a routine, a category. It's time for bed. Get ready for bed. So the very first thing they do is they run to the bathroom. My 5-year-old's old enough to use the bathroom on her own. Our 2-year-old, we're still changing the diaper on him.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's brushing teeth, and then there's an order to it. We do this and this and this. And that gives them a sense of these are the things we do before the next category. What's the next category? Lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And you fill that with laying down and go to sleep. It's nighttime. Mm-hmm. This is the way that we are to live our lives if we're going to be the most productive and the most fruitful in our day-to-day living.
Yeah. Okay. So like categories, if we wanted to say, if I wanted to do a little practical run through
Yes.
of an idea of this, my category is my morning time, my work time.
Yep.
My wife time.
Yep.
My me time.
Okay. Yeah.
So my morning time. All right. Hit snooze 5 times. Make wife angry.
Okay.
After that, shower. Annoyingly, TikTok scroll, get distracted, and then rush.
Sure.
And then that category of rushing is scrambling for keys, clothes. But that is a set category of my day.
Okay.
Getting ready for work.
So using that as an example, and here's the thing: you know what you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And then if you want your lives to be different, you have to make your days be different. If you want your days to be different, you need these chunks of time, these categories to be different.
Man, this is a great opportunity for somebody that feels really overwhelmed with making change in life.
Yeah. So break your day down into bite-sized pieces and then fill those bite-sized pieces with what you need to do.
Yeah.
And this is like a skill you'll always be working on. I'm literally actually getting, I don't think I've told you this, I'm getting time management coaching.
Oh, are you really?
Next, coming up next year. So,
man. Oh, I was about to say, show her this podcast. She'll be like, you guys are all over the place.
yeah, we are. So this is the way that things are built together. You're going to find the same thing and mankind. We reflect this. Go to a library, and we have the Dewey Decimal System. If you were to use the old school Dewey Decimal System, of this is how books are categorized, right? We put in an encyclopedia, things are in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll notice that these examples are very tangible examples. And now with computers, they are organized electronically, a little bit different, but they're still organized. You have a category, you fill it. So this is going to be a part of life. So you want to get, again, the mindset coaching where people pay tens of thousands of dollars for, you know what it includes? Stuff like this.
Organizing your day.
How you organize your day in your life. Yeah. So for me, my Sunday routine is we wake up a little bit later.
Late service always.
I do go to the late service.
See you there.
Yeah. I go to the 11:15, right? Then sometimes we go early to between services because we have some people we'll meet with.
Yeah.
But not discipleship stuff, yeah. And then we come back and we have food with friends typically.
Yeah. And
then we chill. And then at the end of the day, I raid the fridge because I'm not going to make dinner. And we have and then we crash out, and that's our day on Sunday. And by Sunday evening, I'm setting stuff out for Monday so I can get to work. And that's my Sunday. It's a very restful day. We're not doing a ton of things. We had pupusas on Sunday. It was fantastic.
Sounds good.
You should have shown. No, man, it would have been good for you. But anyway.
I had movie with the family.
Well, that sounds like a good time. Pupusas were better, but that's fine. So I don't know.
Hot dang.
Okay. So no more comments. All right. So does that idea of category kind of make sense? Like you take a category, you fill the category.
Yeah.
That's going to be something that you do all the time to be successful.
Knowingly or unknowingly too.
Yeah.
People have their categories. They just might not have it.
It might be more intuitive.
Thought about. Or dictated.
Yeah. Or associations, right? Sometimes you can create a space for certain categories. So my wife has her office set up a particular way.
Yeah.
So she faces the window. The light from the window helps her, just helps her energy wise. She has beautiful things in there because it helps her feel at ease and relaxed to work well. Her desk actually sits in the middle of the room. It's the central focus of the room.
I noticed that.
Yeah. It's like that. And that wouldn't work for everybody, but that works well for her. Yeah. And also she does some recording. So having that space for the cameras works out well. So shout out to my wife who's always working on her projects. So yeah, so this is going to be like just the way of life. When I was doing heating and air conditioning as a technician, I would show up to somebody. I would always do the same thing. I would talk to the client, get the symptoms that they had noticed. Yep. Then I would always go to the thermostat. Very first thing I would do, and I would always set the thermostat to the same thing because that's going to tell me where to start looking for problems.
Yeah.
Every time.
Because you were used to it. That was your routine.
I had a routine. I had a system. And people were like, no, the system's out there. I'm like, I know. Let me go through my system.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Like, people were like, I already checked the thermostat. And I was like, yeah, well, I've been lied to before. You can't say that. Yeah. But people were wrong all the time. One guy would not let me in his house. I took an hour and then I went into, and I was like, I need to see your thermostat. And he finally grudgingly let me in. And I flipped a switch on the thermostat and this problem went away. He just said it wrong.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then he dropped his contract with us because he was so embarrassed and so prideful. It was one of those things like a white collar guy, and I was just a blue collar guy, and you could tell the class difference, and he was
Yeah.
a snob. And then I was super respectful about it, and as gracious as I knew how to be, but he was a jerk. And so what did he
Can't win
do?
them all.
No, he just went to another company because he was embarrassed. White collar snobbery is something I've experienced often. But yeah, so this is create order, fill order. Now there's something else about this though that I want to point out. And that is if we were to read through this whole section, there's several times that he says, 3 times in particular, he says, be fruitful and multiply. And so it's going to be with birds, sea creatures, they get be fruitful, multiply. Land creatures get be fruitful, multiply, and then mankind gets be fruitful, multiply. And also something kind of similar to that, but different, would be plants and trees are bearing seed, so they have an idea of multiply. And I think what people often don't understand is that God is a generous God that wants there to be a lot of good things.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to flip to Genesis 2, and it's a different poem about the same account. So there's 2 different poems.
Yeah.
And they do actually fit together. But they don't fit together, but they kind of take different vantage points.
Yeah. So thematically, same story, just different angle.
Different angles.
Okay.
Well, you can even say different themes. So they're talking about the same event,
Okay.
but they do have very different themes. They're pulling out different
Aspects of it.
aspects of it. Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
Okay. So what we have is what we have is he causes every tree pleasing for appearance and good for food to grow in Eden. That's where Adam and Eve were put.
Sounds beautiful.
Beau-
Both have a purpose.
Yeah, so beauty, aesthetics is present immediately for Adam and Eve. It is a beautiful place. And it's a providential place. They're provided for. Every kind of tree that produces fruit. How many kinds of tree do you imagine that might be? Thousands? Tens of thousands?
Every tree that produces fruit.
Now they may have branched out. There might have only been one kind of raspberry as opposed to a red raspberry,
yeah.
blue raspberry.
I mean, at least 1,000.
Easily 1,000. Easily 1,000. Who knows what's gone extinct since then, right?
That's true.
So I think we have order, but we also have abundance.
Which he harped on with be
And,
fruitful and multiply.
right. So what God wants is lots of birds, lots of fish, lots of animals, and lots of people, and he gave them lots of food and lots of beauty. This is right, and this is how we're supposed to. This is how humanity thrives.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of forgotten beauty. Our world, the things that mankind makes today is not as beautiful as it used to be.
That's interesting because I had just seen David Ladding posted a video.
I had no idea.
Younger generation,
Okay.
around my age, young theologian,
Okay.
doing great things.
Okay.
Extreme vulnerability, preaching on the gospel consistently.
Yeah. Never
And-
heard of him. Never heard of him.
Great guy.
Okay.
I'll show him to you.
Send yeah.
And he deep dives a lot of things, one of which is Catholicism. He's Protestant. And he went and talked with a lot of popes. But he talked about beauty and artificial beauty and real beauty. And he's like, can AI be beautiful? And he was talking about what the biblical perspective and narrative of beauty is, one of which is truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's cool to see that we will try and artificially make beauty consistently.
What do you mean by artificial?
We will craft an image of a tree in a downtown city. Make a sculpture
Mhm.
that represents something instead of having the image itself there.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
Yeah. And I don't either.
Yeah, I think. Well, although it's funny you say that, heaven is represented as a garden city in Revelation.
Yeah.
So we actually have the work of man and the work of God interacting harmoniously together. So that's what we look forward to. And right now, our beauty and God's beauty sometimes clash, or what we build and what God has built sometimes clash because we haven't figured out how to do it right yet.
Yeah.
We're still having to fix. No, that gets to the fall. We'll do that later.
I just think it's interesting. I never even thought, because I've been thinking about what beauty is, and I think that AI has just gone crazy, and they'll try and reframe something, but the Lord God wanting to have beauty there as well as abundance,
Yes.
like to admire something was important, and to have almost like not entertainment but enrichment
Sure. Yeah.
is cool to me.
Yeah. So you have a lot of beauty and you have a lot of food. And this is something that's important to know. You had 1,000 yeses. You said there was at least 1,000 trees. There was 1,000 yeses. We're gonna cover the fall here at some point, where they eat of the tree they weren't supposed to. There was only one no. 1,000 yeses, one no. There's more no's today, but there's still more yeses than there are no's.
Yeah.
What kind of work can I do? Whatever your hand finds to do with all your might. Where should I live? Anywhere.
A lot of places to live.
Go throughout the world, fill the earth, right? Who should I marry? Anyone who's a Christian. You know, like there's so many yeses that and also, you know, of the correct gender. But you know, like there's some criteria. But it's like there's a lot. Before you and I got married, we literally had tens of thousands of choices, just like Adam and Eve did in the garden with the trees. So many, probably maybe more choices than they had. So just know that like this order is not like it's not like a prison. It's not prison food.
Yeah.
You know, we're not stuck in little cells and it's minimalistic and ugly. I think our systems, we've kind of treated humanity as commodities, and we treat them and we act like we're all in a factory all the time. And that's just not.
I think it's funny how like we have so many yeses. Even when you get married. Okay, now I have 1 million more yeses with this person that I'm married to.
Sure.
I think it was interesting. You have all these you have the options, right?
Yeah.
And you make your choice and you stick with that choice.
Yeah, you stick with the choice.
And it's like they couldn't stick with the choice of all their thousands of yeses.
Yeah.
And they didn't even have the same option of 1 million no's.
Right.
Yeah, I think it just shows the disparity of ease that they had there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sorry. I was
No, that's good.
processing through that of what marriage looks like. And there's two ways you can take it. Once you choose that yes, now are you looking at 1 million no's, or are you looking at now you're millions of yeses every day to choose and say yes to your wife?
Oh, is your phone off?
Oh, it probably died.
That's hilarious.
Well, we got it there. But think about that. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you have the opportunity when you get married to continue to 1 million yeses, and people want to focus on the 1 million no's.
Sure.
Crazy.
Yeah, and this is human nature.
Yeah.
I just want what I can't have.
Yes.
Instead of the contentment of
blessing.
And we're not talking about, are there times where you don't have a lot of good choices? Yes. Sure. I've lived through those times. Is that all the time? No. We live in one of the more prosperous ages of humanity. We have options. We have things we could do. It's good. And that contentment, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good. And actually, there's something else about this, where God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. It was very good. So this all.
What level of satisfaction do you think he had with that? I would to say this was very good.
It seems like an extremely high level of satisfaction.
I feel like it probably doesn't even touch when I like complete something.
Yeah.
Like if I put a puzzle together, I can be like, man, that looks pretty good right there. And I didn't even make the puzzle. I just put it together.
That's right. I actually like puzzles too.
I love puzzles.
Yeah. We just did was it a 2,000 puzzle, 2,000 piece puzzle over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we have a 1,000 piece. And my wife picked it because it looked pretty. And it is the worst because it's just all jumbled.
Yeah,
There's so little definitive things to try. I'm like, man,
well, it's a challenge.
kills me. Kills me.
Find the corner pieces, go from there.
Yeah, no, I get the board. We have the border. And then
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the thing though. You get a puzzle. What do? You separate out the corner pieces. You separate out the border pieces. You build categories. You start building from there. If you do have an area with like, oh, this color's over here and this color's over there, you separate those pieces out.
That's
right?
what her mom does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do it too.
Yeah, that's the normal.
That is so funny.
You take chaos, you create order.
Yeah.
And then
you have categories. And
then you fill
them.
the categories.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just a basic way of handling life, getting things down to a level that we are meant to
sometimes make it
them.
feel more manageable.
To make it manageable, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're not God. We can't think about everything at the same time like God can.
Definitely not.
No. Any more questions over there? No.
Also, just saw a post about multitasking being not real. You're just really quickly splitting attention back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is exhausting. Yeah.
Back to it real today.
There we go. Here's a few other things that I see coming out of Eden in chapter 2. We'll run through it real quickly. There's 4 rivers that went through different parts of the earth, which, by the way, there's one river that splits into 4 rivers, and it goes out, which means that this was probably a mountain because water runs downhill.
Yeah.
So we have a mountain garden, which again, there's a lot of holy mountain references throughout the Bible. Sinai being one, where Jesus was transfigured being another. The mountain that comes out of heaven of New Jerusalem. So these are all mountains. You also have a false mountain of Babel, mankind building a mountain to get to God or get to heaven. So you have these 4 rivers coming out off this mountain. One of those rivers goes to a land that's full of gold and onyx and bdellium. I don't know what the bdellium even is, but these precious metals. God wanted us to have access to like really, valuable materials. He gives man responsibility and purpose. And this is something we're going to go into with a later episode where he specifically gives Adam, he puts man in the garden to work and keep the garden. Those words, work and keep, are later going to be used of priests. So the Levites were to work and keep the tabernacle and later the temple. And as Christians, we're to work and keep the church. I mean, there's just this is part of our priestly responsibility too.
Because we become a temple for the Holy Spirit.
Boom.
Well, I mean, we are working, keeping on now a multitude of a blessing of responsibility, which I'm learning and we've discussed.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last episode, the blessing of like kinghood. And
yes.
It's interesting that he uses working and keeping same with these priests that you read and think are on a different level.
Well, something else we'll get into another day is Adam was the first priest king.
Yeah.
He was the first priest king. So Jesus being a prophet, priest, and king. Yeah.
Hashtag who is Melchizedek?
There we go.
Sorry, I'll bring him up every time priesthood.
Another thing we see is that God has Adam name all the animals. So we see language in the garden. Language is very intrinsic to who we are as humans and very important in how we do things. So, by the way, this gets cursed after Babel. But language is something that's very, very important to us, very necessary for us. And then the final thing is in Genesis 2 that he creates the ability of marriage and procreation, which he had talked about earlier in chapter 1. Yeah, but he does it by putting man to sleep, and he puts a wound in his side, and from his wound comes his bride. That's how God made he fashions the woman out of the side of the man. Jesus on the cross was wounded in the side. He was pierced for our iniquity. From his wound comes the bride, of the last Adam as well.
Whoa.
So there's a lot.
Whoa.
There's a lot we can do with that.
Wait, that's a crazy connection.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Yo. What the heck? I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Especially the church being the bridegroom and how.
And he sleeps. He dies, goes to the grave, and comes back. Like there's a whole. Yeah. There's a.
Well, I would pause there. I would want to pump and dive into it. Oh, that's crazy.
So we'll probably do an episode on that at some point.
Pause and track.
But the main thing I really wanted to focus on here is God did design a kind of. Now, is this prosperity promised to us? Not necessarily. There's chaos now has been unleashed in this world. There is disorder. We have disordered desires. There are sometimes I have, as a younger man in particular, I had temper issues. And really what that is a violence issue, right? And so I had a violent predisposition in a certain way. That's disordered. That breaks down social order, relational order, sometimes legal order, right? Depending how far you go.
Yeah.
Right. So this is something where we talked a little bit about more earlier at the beginning about disordered desires as far as our bodies. This can happen sexually. This can happen with greed. We can want the gold more than we want the God who made the gold.
And I also think that like we see so often, like it's crazy how many levels you can break it down to, but you see how we're broken and we know it, whether you're a believer or not.
Yeah.
Because even as society, those non-believers, there's an awareness that order is a necessity.
Yes.
And like we have laws, like you said, even legally you can be disordered. But just for even to have a society that needs that order, it is such a requirement that we have stepped so far away from. And I think that like laws and legal systems and even a government is almost seems like base level, like very shallow compared to the intricate design and order, inner working. So it's cool that that's another example of how humanity needs and yearns to return back to what we have.
That's right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Not funny, but interesting.
Well, and it's also a restraint of chaos so that people can live. And actually, Genesis 9, we'll get into that. So anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we got more. We have more. So that's kind of like an idea of what we got today. That God gives us order that leads to generous prosperity. Obviously, that's not promised to us today, but that was the intention of our design, and we do hope to return to it today. Particularly when Jesus returns in his all his glory and sets all things right. So Maranatha, Lord, come quickly, right?
Yeah.
Now, but from that, we can look at the creative order and we can pull from this how we can live our lives today. And I'll run through a few things. If you want to add to this, feel free. Breaking down whatever it is that we do, whether it's work with our family, because you and I are married, household. I was married later on in life. I was in my mid-30s, so I still had to have order in my household with my roommates, that was in our churches. We have to have order, right? There's worship in an orderly way, right? So these are all things that interact with one another. And the easiest way to think about this, I think, is create a category, fill the category. I wouldn't want to be too exact in this though, because what we can look at creation now, and we see birds that swim, right? Right?
Penguins.
Yeah. We see, and we can see birds that don't fly. And I think that remember not to be too rigid with the categories. Sometimes there's going to be a little
variation.
There's going to be a little
unexpected
variation.
variables.
Yeah, for example, day 5 has birds and sea creatures being created, and they don't fit neatly. Day 1 we had sky. On day 2 we had seas.
Now, if we're talking practical applications,
and
what we can go. So we'll be back in a week. I think it would. Not only would I think Satan want our order to be chaotic, but allow things to seem fitting in our order. So I would challenge throughout the week to find a detail in the design and in a category that is not beneficial. Hidden chaos, I guess.
Yeah. Find a way that you can create order out of chaos. And I think you're actually imaging God well when you do that.
Yeah, like what's a
But-
broken habit that's sneakily in there?
But what's the other side of this? That in fear, we try to exert too much control.
I forgot. We have people that genuinely have OCD that control and hyper control and lack of trust. Wow, this is a whole different coin of that. They're trying to be their own God, essentially.
There we go.
That's interesting.
And a lot of times those people have deep hurts that make it so they are fearful. They have hurts. They want this extra control, particularly control over people. Then
Yes.
you have institutional abuses that can happen there. So just know that like any good thing can be misused.
Yeah.
Any good thing can be mistreated.
Or idolized.
or idolized.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the heart root of it.
So this is an order that leads to freedom.
Yeah.
They had the freedom of 10,000 trees to eat from. Yeah, and so
They chose the no. What no's are you choosing?
there's
A lot every day.
it's that's a constant thing for us. I think we replay their temptation in the garden every day, probably multiple times a day. So
We are. I think I've gotten good in certain seasons at ignoring the spirit.
oh sure, yep. All right, let me check my notes. Make sure I don't have anything else here.
Listen,
Yeah, that's all I got. So I think the last thing is just gratitude. Like God made it so that we can have a lot of cool stuff.
he did.
It's not as good as having God, but it's still really cool.
Yeah.
The fact that God created abundance and beauty, that's what we're
Wanted
designed
us
for.
to enjoy beauty.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It makes me feel way better about liking snakes
Good.
because he made them so cool.
They're beautiful.
to me.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah. Yep. So, anything else? Any other questions? Anyone watching? Hey, there we go. Thank you to the 5 of you who,
We love you.
who are watching. So, shoot us, throw some comments in if you guys want, if you have questions later.
Yeah.
And we'll be on to the next thing next week, just after Christmas.
And now this podcast is going to dust.
It's so terrible.
And then you can edit out like a screen of dust. You should learn how to
So
edit
bad.
it to where it turns to dust. And then the live ends.
Come on, install guy. Get some
Dust
dust.
in Dominion. That was good. Don't leave this in. I'm tired. No, they're probably